In this video, we'll discuss how to write molecular formulas. Molecular formulas are formulas for compounds as they actually exist, and it can be in multiples of the empirical formula. If you look at these two examples, the empirical formula is CH2O. The molecular formula is C6H12O6. Notice that if we multiply these subscripts by 6, then the formula would be C6H12O6. You can determine the molecular formula if you have the empirical formula and the molar mass. Sometimes you're not given the empirical formula, and that would be your first step, is to determine the empirical formula. In this example, we have no empirical formula. We have percent composition, and we use that to determine the empirical formula. So we have percent composition and molar mass. And so when you're trying to write the molecular formula, step one is to determine the empirical formula. Same steps as before. You turn percentage into grams for each element, and then you divide by the molar mass of that element. When you do that, you'll get a number of moles for each element, and you'll divide that by the lowest number of moles for those that were already calculated in the step before. If you're lucky, you get a whole number. If not, you have to do another step. In this case, we get whole numbers, so our formula is AlCl3. We write our elements in the formula in order of increasing electronegativity. Aluminum has a lower electronegativity than chlorine, so it is aluminum first and then chlorine. Now remember, increasing electronegativity except hydrogen. Hydrogen would be last unless you have elements in groups 6A and 7A, and then it would be written before that. Next step is to calculate the molar mass of the empirical formula. So you determined in the previous step the empirical formula. Now we calculate the molar mass of that empirical formula. So you calculate the molar mass of the empirical formula, and then the next step, divide the molar mass of the compound. That's what's given, right? You divide that by the molar mass of the empirical formula, and you'll get a number. It should be a whole number. And so then after that, you would multiply the subscripts of the empirical formula by that whole number. Since we had 2, we did molar mass of compound X divided by the molar mass of the empirical formula. That gave us 2. So we multiply AlCl3 by 2. So now we have 2 aluminums and 6 chlorines. So we had 1 aluminum times 2 gives you 2 aluminums. We had 3 chlorines times 2 gives you 6 chlorines. And that's it. That's all you have to do.